Fasting, for some, it's a religious tradition. For others, it's a lifestyle choice. But whether you fast for spiritual reasons or health benefits, there's no denying that fasting has become one of the most talked about topics in the health and wellness world. From intermittent fasting to prolonged fasts, it seems like everyone is jumping on the fasting bandwagon. But why? What's driving this surge in popularity? And more importantly, is it actually good for you? Today, we'll dive deep into the power of fasting, exploring its health benefits, debunking the myths, and shedding light on the risks you need to know about. The history and evolution of fasting. To understand fasting, we need to go back in time. Fasting is not a new trend, it's deeply embedded in human history. Religious and spiritual fasting practices are as old as civilization itself. Ancient Egyptians fasted for physical and spiritual purification, while the Greeks used it to sharpen mental focus. Fasting is also a core component of many major religions. Think Ramadan in Islam, Yom Kippur in Judaism, and Lent in Christianity. But over the centuries, fasting has evolved from a religious or spiritual discipline into a tool for health and longevity. In modern times, it has exploded into the wellness space, particularly with the rise of intermittent fasting. And here's where the story takes an interesting twist. Fasting is no longer just about abstaining from food for religious reasons. It's now backed by science, with researchers discovering fascinating biological processes that explain how fasting impacts the human body. The science behind fasting. What happens inside your body?
Fasting, buddy. Body 2.
When you stop eating for extended periods, your body doesn't have immediate access to glucose, its preferred fuel source. So, what happens? Stage 1. Glycogen depletion, 0 to 12 hours. Initially, your body burns glycogen, the stored form of glucose in your liver and muscles. Once glycogen reserves are depleted, the body moves into a state called ketosis. Stage 2. Ketosis, 12-48 hours. Ketosis is when your body starts breaking down fats into ketones, an alternative energy source. This is where things get interesting. Research shows that ketosis can improve brain function, increase energy levels, and even contribute to weight loss. Stage 3. Autophagy, 48 hours and beyond. Autophagy is a cellular process where the body cleans up damaged cells and regenerates new, healthier ones. This process is one of the most significant benefits of fasting and is linked to longevity. Nobel Prize-winning scientist Yoshinori Ohsumi discovered that autophagy plays a critical role in preventing diseases like cancer and neurodegenerative conditions. Statistical fact. A study published in Nature revealed that intermittent fasting can extend the lifespan of lab animals by up to 30%. While it's still being researched in humans, early studies suggest fasting may have a profound impact on aging and longevity. The good news are the health benefits. Let's get into the benefits, and there are plenty. But here's where things get interesting. These aren't just your typical weight loss benefits. Fasting goes much deeper than that. 1. Improved insulin sensitivity. Fasting can improve your body's ability to regulate insulin, which is essential for controlling blood sugar levels. According to a 2014 study published in Diabetes Care, intermittent fasting can reduce insulin resistance by up to 31%, making it an effective strategy for managing type 2 diabetes. 2. Enhanced brain function. Fasting doesn't just affect the body, it impacts the brain as well. Research has shown that fasting increases the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that plays a crucial role in cognitive function and memory. In fact, a 2015 study from the Journal of Neuroscience showed that intermittent fasting can improve mental clarity and protect against diseases like Alzheimer's. 3. Fat loss and muscle retention. Contrary to popular belief, fasting does not automatically lead to muscle loss. Studies suggest that intermittent fasting can help you lose fat while retaining lean muscle mass. One study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who followed an intermittent fasting schedule lost 8% of their body fat over 12 weeks, while maintaining muscle. 4. Increased longevity. As mentioned earlier, autophagy plays a significant role in extending life. But fasting also reduces oxidative stress and inflammation, two key factors that contribute to aging and age-related diseases. According to a study in Cell Metabolism, intermittent fasting reduces markers of oxidative stress, inflammation, and improves cellular repair mechanisms. Fun fact: in a study published by the New England Journal of Medicine, researchers found that periodic fasting could reduce the risk of heart disease by as much as 45%. This is partly due to lower cholesterol levels and reduced blood pressure during fasting periods. The myths. Debunking common misconception. Let's clear the air because fasting comes with its fair share of myths. Some of these myths have even scared people away from trying fasting altogether. Let's address the biggest ones. Myth 1. Fasting slows your metabolism. This is perhaps one of the most widespread myths. People believe that fasting will cause the body to go into starvation mode and slow the metabolism. But studies show the opposite. Short-term fasting can actually boost metabolism by up to 14%, according to research from the American Journal of Physiology. Myth 2. Fasting causes muscle loss. There's a fear that without a constant intake of food, the body will start eating away at muscle. But as we discussed earlier, this isn't the case. As long as your body has fat stores, it will prioritize using fat for energy before turning to muscle. Myth 3. Fasting is dangerous for women. While some people believe fasting is more dangerous for women due to hormonal fluctuations, recent research indicates that women can safely fast without adverse effects. However, it's essential to listen to your body. A study published in Obesity Research showed that intermittent fasting led to significant fat loss and improved metabolic markers in women without harming reproductive health. Having said all of that, let's discuss the risks and what you need to be aware of. Now, while fasting does have its benefits, it's not without risks. It's essential to be aware of these before diving into any fasting regimen. 1. Nutrient deficiency. Extended periods of fasting can lead to a lack of essential nutrients, such as vitamins and minerals. If you're fasting for long durations without proper planning, your body might not get the nutrients it needs to function correctly. This is why it's essential to break your fast with nutrient-dense meals. 2. Overeating. After fasting. One of the more common risks of fasting is binge eating after the fast ends. Fasting can increase hunger hormones like ghrelin, leading some people to overeat during their eating windows. A study in appetite found that individuals who practiced intermittent fasting were more likely to overcompensate by consuming more calories after a fast. 3. Fasting and eating disorders. For individuals with a history of eating disorders, fasting can trigger unhealthy eating behaviors. Experts caution that fasting can sometimes lead to an unhealthy preoccupation with food or exacerbate conditions like anorexia or bulimia. 4. Electrolyte imbalance. During prolonged fasts, especially those lasting more than 24 hours, there is a risk of electrolyte imbalance, particularly in sodium, potassium, and magnesium levels. This can lead to dizziness, fatigue, and even more severe health issues. Staying hydrated and replenishing electrolytes is critical when fasting. On a controversial thought, some experts argue that prolonged fasting can negatively impact your immune system by reducing white blood cell count. A study from Nutritional Immunology highlighted that extended fasting could impair your body's ability to fight off infections. However, other studies suggest that short-term fasting may boost immune function, creating an ongoing debate in the scientific community. Types of fasting and which one is right for you. There's no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to fasting. Let's look at the most popular fasting methods and see which one might work for you. 1. Intermittent fasting, IF. This involves fasting for specific periods throughout the day and eating within a set window, usually 8 hours. The most popular method is 16-8, where you fast for 16 hours and eat during an 8-hour window. There's also the 5-2 method, where you eat normally for 5 days and restrict calories for 2 days. 2. Alternate day fasting. As the name suggests, you alternate between fasting days and eating days. On fasting days, you either abstain from food completely or limit your calorie intake to around 500-600 calories. 3. Prolonged fasting. This involves fasting for 24-72 hours. While prolonged fasting has been shown to have benefits, such as autophagy and detoxification, it should be approached with caution and ideally under medical supervision. 4. OMAD. 1 meal a day. As the name implies, OMAD involves consuming all of your daily calories in just one meal. While it can be an effective way to lose weight, OMAD may not be suitable for everyone and can lead to nutrient deficiencies if not properly planned. Fact check. According to a survey by Healthline, intermittent fasting is the most popular fasting method globally, with over 36% of respondents citing it as their preferred fasting routine. Who should avoid fasting? While fasting can offer a wide range of health benefits, it's not for everyone. Certain individuals should avoid fasting, or at the very least, consult with a healthcare professional before starting. 1. Pregnant or breastfeeding women. Fasting can lead to nutrient deficiencies that may impact both the mother and the baby. Adequate nutrition is critical during pregnancy and breastfeeding, and fasting could compromise this. 2. People with diabetes. Fasting can drastically alter blood sugar levels, particularly for those on insulin or other glucose-lowering medications. While some studies show that intermittent fasting can improve insulin sensitivity, it should only be done under medical supervision. 3. People with a history of eating disorders. As mentioned earlier, fasting can trigger unhealthy eating behaviors in individuals with a history of eating disorders. It's essential to approach fasting with caution in such cases. 4. Individuals on medications. Certain medications need to be taken with food to be effective or to prevent stomach irritation. If you're on any medication, it's important to consult your doctor before fasting. Finally, is fasting right for you? At the end of the day, fasting is not a magic bullet, but it can be a powerful tool for improving health, if done correctly. The key is to listen to your body, be aware of the risks, and make sure you're getting adequate nutrition during your eating windows. Fasting isn't for everyone, but for those who find it beneficial, it can offer a host of advantages, from improved metabolic health to increased longevity. So, is fasting right for you? Only you can answer that, but hopefully, this deep dive into the power of fasting has given you the information you need to make an informed decision. Stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay healthy.